Hey everyone, this is David. Welcome back behind the velvet rope. Let's just get right into it today because we are joined back by the one and only Miss Theresa Caputo.
Oh, thank you so much, David. It's so great to see you. You look fabulous as always.
Well, now I get to stare into this amazing closet of yours. I don't know. I mean, I've seen it on, I don't think I knew your closet was this fabulous. I'm having major envy right now.
Well, I had actually, this was my attic over my garage. And I was like, I have clothes all over my house. I have clothes in storage and I could never find anything. And I was like, you know what? I have this empty space. It's an attic and I turned it into a closet. So
That
if
is
you have an
so
attic, you can have a closet like me.
That is so smart. No, I don't have an attic, but I'm moving apartments. I bought an apartment, and when I move in, my closet is going to be like that's the one that's going to be killer. I
I
don't know
don't
if
think
it's going to be
people
this
realize
big.
it. Yeah, but I don't think people realize how important it is just to have that. I mean, for me anyway, like to have things organized. And I'm a visual person, so I need to see something. So for me, it's just like it was the best thing I did.
Me too. And like I can deal with chaos in life, but like not in my organization of I can deal with chaos in my home, but not in the design of my home. Like everything
Exactly.
needs, I'm a little OCD when it comes to the
Mhm.
design, but there could be chaos around me in my home,
That's
right?
right. As long as my undies are in line, I'm good.
Exactly. Well, you just had some time off. It was the holidays, and I know I saw on Instagram you were home with your family. So, like, how nice was that to be home and have time off from touring and being on the road and be with the family?
It I mean, it was great because I was away for 9 weeks. So being away for 9 weeks, and Victoria is expecting any time now. So it was really hard to be away, especially, during that time. But it always feels good to be home.
Or how excited are you for Victoria?
Oh my God. First of all, I am so happy for her that she's doing so well because everyone knows, she has struggles, with anxiety and depression and things like that. And she is just doing so amazing. I'm like, girl, you better have your hormones checked because whatever level they're at, we need to keep you at this level.
Like,
Because she's like literally on cloud nine glowing. And it's just, I mean, this baby is already so spoiled. I think all grandparents ready to be a grandparent or anyone when they having a baby, we all say the same things. This baby is so spoiled, but no one realizes it. But my granddaughter, when she's born, she's going to have 7 great grandparents, great grandparents,
wow.
and 4 grandparents. So it's just like, it's crazy.
She's going
So
to be very spoiled,
yes.
but that's okay, right?
Listen, that's what having children is all about. We spoil our children, but as long as we do it, as long as they still have morals and traditions, we can spoil them all we want. That's just my motto. They have to
Well,
be good people. They have to be nice. They have to share.
other than that, I think it's okay to spoil as well.
Yes.
Well, listen, like you said, like you were on the road like in 2021, like you had a busy year.
Yeah, it was insane. But you know what? It felt so good to be, things weren't 100%, but it was amazing. Um, to get back out on the road, be able to do all the shows that we had to postpone from 2020 and be able to get them done by the end of 2021 was great because I talk about this all the time, David. What I do is so much more than just connecting people with their loved ones that have died. Spirit gives us the continued gift of faith, hope, and peace. And I think everyone needed a little bit of that, especially in 2021 and even now. So it was to be in person. All right, even though I wore a mask. I mean, look, you came to my show. So what? I had a mask on. It was still so intimate, so amazing, and so moving and emotional.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The last time we spoke, I asked you lots of questions about your background and your childhood and how you got into all this. We covered all that, but I hadn't gone to your show. And like, thank you for the invite. I attended your show. And yes, that's the number one word I have circled on the top of this piece of paper is like, what an emotional evening. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh, you just gave me the chills. First of all, I was so honored that you came because I always invite people, especially anyone that gives me the opportunity to let people know that I'm on tour, I'm doing live shows, and supports what I do. I always invite them to one of my live shows because I feel you have to have that experience because you knew who I was, right? You knew what I did, but to be there and then I'm dying, no pun intended, to hear what you have to say of what you thought about the live show because we haven't spoken since then.
We have not spoken, like we DM, but we did not cover this. Well, I don't know. I'm a real person, but I'm not really one of these overly emotional people. Like I'm just one of those that kind of pushes it all down.
Oh, okay.
It's shocking, right? So you're shocked, right?
I am.
I mean, I guess I feel it, but then I usually skip over
Mhm.
that part. You're like, you feel it just, I'm like a Gemini. We like rationalize our emotions.
Yes.
But so I guess I was expecting it to be an emotional evening, but I mean, wow. It's just really, so like for anyone who hasn't seen it, like you start on the stage and then, you come off the stage and you walk around and you're in the audience and you really just go where spirit guides you for the readings.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean, so it was a great show. I have lots of questions after being
Okay.
at your show. So, well, as you're walking around, like you mentioned, like, so the spirit kind of guides you into where you go. And like, there's really no rhyme or reason, right? Because I think you
Right.
mentioned like someone could come with like pictures of their mother and that's who they want to come through. That person may not come through, or you might go over to someone that's so excited to have a reading from like their mother, but it's their like best friend's next door neighbor.
Right. You never know what's going to happen because spirit always uses the opportunity to get a message of who needs it the most. And that's I don't mean it so black and white like that. It's because every person that walks in that theater, they hope to hear from their departed loved one. And a lot of times, some people really aren't ready. I mean, there are times, I don't know if it happened at your show, but time and time again, I'll spirit will literally say to me, I can feel your loved one. You're not ready. You need a little bit of time because this is too overwhelming. It's this emotional roller coaster that spirit brings us through, during a live show. And the fact that they just guide me and stop. And then, because how many times will I say to someone, well, your neighbor is coming through, but now your mother is coming through and saying, this is who they really wanted to hear from. I always love when that happens.
Yeah, that's all. So, right. So it doesn't like leave your pictures at home. Like none of that really helps, right? Like when people do
No,
this.
I think how it might help, David, if you want to interpret it that way, it'll give someone the ability to connect easier, if that makes sense. Like, because I always ask for those validations, because my job as a medium, what I always feel like is just to interpret the information correctly. What you choose to do with that information or how you place it in your healing process, that's up to you. And I think sometimes people need that. You know what? Oh my God. My mother told Theresa about the bracelet that I wore or the picture that I hid or the hanky that I brought, whatever it is. I feel that people emotionally and I think psychologically can connect with something so tangible to be like, yes, this is real. If that makes sense.
That makes sense to me. That makes a lot of sense to me. And so the other thing I took away from your show is when you start the show and you're on the stage, one of the first things you say is, listen, it's not about me. Like, I don't care if you believe me. Like, I'm not here to make you a believer. This evening is not about me. So talk to me about that.
I learned a long time ago that this really has nothing to do with me. Spirit, because people always say, oh, thank you so much. And I'm like, listen, it's not me. That was your loved one. Spirit uses my physical body to be able to relay messages to someone. That is it. The only thing that I take responsibility for is that I'm crazy enough to say the things. And David, you can validate it. I say some crazy things during a live show where I'm like, are you kidding me? I even say to myself, how did I get that? Those words just came out of my mouth. Where did that come from? So it's not up to me. Like spirit uses my physical body as a vessel